to create a particular type of resonance will unify you faster than just meditating on, the middle of your forehead. If, however, you're an individual that you learn visually, it's like, man, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. Just show it. Give it to me in writing. Show me. Show me. Paint a picture for me. If you need to see it, then you may be an individual that when you yoke in doing yoga, you may need sigils or images or pictographs or even something like whatever chakra you're trying to focus on. If you don't get anything, nothing less than or more than just basic construction paper from an art store in multiple colors, you may be able to focus on a particular color construction paper and look at that, and then close your eyes and then try to see that in your head if you're somebody that is visual. If you're an individual that you learn better based on what rings true for you and what feels right for you, then, a certain amount of the sound is going to help. But when you do your meditating, you're going to have to resonate, or should I say, utter certain tones, and you're going to have to utter those tones in a way that you feel them resonating inside of you. So if you're working on a lower chakra, then you want to feel, when you utter a sound, you want to feel the resonation in, say, your solar plexus. Or if you're working on the so-called third eye, which a lot of people think is the pineal, but that's like more the pituitary, then you want to feel it resonating in there, because to me, I think the pineal is a higher eye than that, because, you have other spiritual eyes. But if you want to resonate, let's say, on the pineal, a lot of people think that that's violet. I kind of disagree, but, that's a whole other story. It seems to me that if you go from the throat chakra, which is blue, up to the pituitary area, which they say is indigo, and then to the crown, which to me is going to be more in line with the pineal, which they say is violet, I would think that it would be blue. Then if you know what indigo looks like, it's kind of almost the color of a night sky, a starless night sky. So I would think that the crown chakra would be more in line with the sky that it's connecting to. That's just my thinking on it. But if you're trying to resonate on either the pituitary or pineal, if you're someone that learns based on what feels right, then for you, you can do a sound, and when you resonate that sound, you need to feel it vibrating inside the center of your skull, almost like if you took a plus sign, an arithmetic plus sign for adding, and you were to put it right in the middle of your head. The straight axis would be like dividing your head in half, but coming from the center of the top of your head, and the crossing axis would probably be somewhere between the eyebrows. Then dead the center of there, you need to kind of feel it resonating there if you're someone that's kinesthetic. So just doing yoga alone is not good enough. You have to know if you are visual, and if you are visual, you need to use visual aids. Not because you can't do it without the aids, but the aids, if you're just getting into this, the science is not the tool. The science is not the aid. You are the science, but the tool helps you get there faster. So somebody visual needs something visual to look at, a picture of particular chakra, or a picture of color of said chakra, or whatever it is that you're attempting to do. If you're trying to unify with some ancestor, maybe a picture of said ancestor. If you're auditory, then you need to hear certain sounds going on, ocean waves, birds chirping. I don't really like om, but a lot of people go for the om. I think it's more accurate to probably, I don't know how many people have had parents that will go, yeah, My dad does that a lot. But I think it would probably be more accurate to do a as opposed to om. I think it should be something more like that. You need to do sounds if you're auditory. Have a visual aid if you are visual. And you need to feel certain things happening in your body. You know, you need to feel a certain warmth in a place or a certain coolness in the place if you're kinesthetic. So you need to know how you resonate. And if you're somebody that kind of needs to do hands-on, then you kind of need to combine some of the three. Because just putting your hands on something, you know, to do a thing. Like, let's say if you're somebody that learns better by touching things, you may need to handle and hold a stone that is the particular color of the particular chakra that you're trying to tune up, if that makes any sense. But to just sit and do yoga, that's not good enough. You need to do yoga in a way that vibrates with you at a frequency that will help you resonate upward so you can grow.
So, like my daughter, she hums a lot and it gets on my nerves. Is that the same thing like when somebody's humming? Like, like that?
I don't know, because I don't know if she's humming because she's an auditory individual. You know, if she's the type of individual that you can show her stuff all day, but she doesn't get it until you say it. It's like, okay, I get it. I heard you. I heard you the first time. I heard it. Then I can't say, you know, because I haven't really talked to her. I probably should, because she's pretty much ready to go. I think you need to figure out how she learns best. And you can kind of tell for people that are not sure, because some people are probably like, well, what in the hell is she talking about? Auditory kinesthetic. What is that? If you're the type of person that, you know, if you're a person that every time you say something, it's like, man, I ain't feeling that fool. You know, it's something about that dude. I don't know what it is. He just it don't feel right. He don't feel right. I don't like him. He ain't resonating with me. That's an individual that is probably a cross between kinesthetic, which means you have to feel your way through life. You know, some people go out and today they walk out the door, and it's like, you know, today is going to be a great day. And it's like, really, how do you know that? I don't know. I just feel it. It just feels right. Those people are kinesthetic. Somebody, on the other hand, that you could be talking to them, or they could be sitting up watching a speaker or a lecture or whatever, and it's like, I don't know, everything sounds good, but she just looked like she's lying to me. You're probably visual. The person isn't dressed right, or the colors they're wearing are abrasive to you, or, you know, their nails aren't done. Whatever it is, you need to see something. Maybe their eyes are shifting too much for you because you're visual and you're taking everything in based on what you see. And you don't care what somebody's saying, they don't look right. It just, I don't know, somebody, they look shady. Those people are visual. So, you know, you have to function from a visual place. And somebody that's auditory is like, oh, man, did you hear that? Check out what that fool is saying. People that are always talking about what something sounded like, or what somebody said, or what somebody heard. You know, you could take a visual person, an auditory person, and a kinesthetic person and stand them on a corner, and when an accident takes place, all three of them are standing there, and they're all going to give it to you differently because they're coming from a different modality of communication. Somebody that is visual is going to go, oh, man, look at, oh, my God, that car is jacked up. And somebody's going to go, oh, I know somebody got hurt. Did you hear that? Oh, my God, did you hear that? I know somebody's hurt. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on how you learn. And most people never knew that they learned a particular way. That's why so many people don't do well in school. You know, because the teacher's not trying to reach everybody. Some people, you standing up in front of the board ain't telling them nothing. You can stand there all day long, and they don't get a dang thing you said until you put a pencil in their hand and give them a piece of paper and let them try it. They have to write it for themselves because they're hands-on and or kinesthetic. People that are hands-on are kind of a cross between kinesthetic and need to do it themselves. Otherwise, you just standing there. And you're talking over their heads because they're not auditory and they can't hear what you're saying. It's like, well, when can we start? Can we do it now? Can I do it now? Can we start? Can we start? Because they need to do it. Otherwise, they're not going to get it. And, you know, it's the same for people that are auditory. You know, if a teacher is just writing on the board, she's writing and writing and writing, and they're not learning anything because she's not talking. They need to She needs to be talking to somebody's auditory. They need to hear it. Looking at her is not helping them one bit. You know, that only helps people that are visual. And I hope I didn't confuse everybody any even further.
No, that helped me a lot. Okay, we have another caller, 718-496. This is 496. 718-496, join the air. Are you there?
Doesn't sound like it.
I'm gonna go into the chat room. There's a lot of questions. It's a lot.
Okay.
Let me see.
I thought we'd have more questions.
No, it's a lot of questions. I have to scroll up. Somebody asked, women more spiritual during their menstrual.
Huh? What? What?
Are women more spiritual during their menstrual?
I think that depends on the woman. You know, I don't think it's about being more spiritual based on your menstrual, because of your menstrual. You know what I mean? Menstrual just means moon. So I will say this, and, you know, to get away from the menstrual question, because I think that's individual. There are a lot of people that are very spiritual that don't even have menstruals anymore or whatever the case may be. So I don't think that's it. If you know that menstrual basically means your moon cycle, it's better to know about moon cycles. When a moon is in the process of growing, which some people call waxing. You start out with like no moon, and then it becomes a little fragment of a crescent moon, and then it grows further into a half a moon, and then you look up and it's like, whoa, we have a full moon. As the moon is growing, that is the time to do your spiritual work that is going to have anything to do with growing and acquiring and building things. When the moon is building up, that's when you build up your spiritual stuff. When the moon has gotten full already and now it's going away, like I think right now we're in a moon that is waning. Waning means it's going away, so to speak. It's not going anywhere. It's always there, but the sun's light shines on it differently around the earth. But when the moon is waning away from full, we had a super moon a few days ago. It was full. It was super because it was the closest that it's been in over 20 years. Now that we're in a waning moon that is going away to the point of disappearing from the view, that is when you do your spiritual work that has to do with diminishing things and eliminating things and canceling things and getting rid of things and throwing things out. You know, old clothes, old lovers, old jobs. You know, if you want to get rid of stuff, you do it when the moon is going away. That's when you push things away from you, when the moon is going away. When the moon is building, that's when you work on bringing things to you, because the moon is growing and building. That's when you work on your growth and building spiritually. When the moon is going away, like, for example, if you're someone that has never astral projected consciously before, because everyone does it, most people did it a lot as children, and they didn't know they were doing it. And I'll remind you of how you knew you were doing it. As a child, you're asleep, and for some reason, you're awake now, but you can't open your eyes, and you can't open your mouth. You're trying to scream, and you can't. And you're looking, and you see the whole room. You can see everything around you, but you can't open your eyes, and you can't move, and you feel like somebody's sitting on you, and it scares the blazes out of you. That is an astral projection, but the substance is not all the way back into the body yet. But as a child, you don't know that. You just feel like, what's wrong? Children do it all the time. Some adults do it and don't know that that's what it is. You have not gotten all of your substance back into your physical. When you are, now that's what you call, I can't think of the word for it, but spontaneous, for lack of better words. When you are attempting to do it on purpose and you're trying to do it deliberately, and know that you're doing it and be aware the whole time. As you're trying it for the first time, you should do that as the moon is growing, because as the astral substance, as the moon is growing, astral energy is increasing, and that is the time to start practicing on that type of stuff. And I'm sure I'm scaring the hell out of somebody that's thinking spookism. I'm trying to take the spookism out of this stuff, and we'll do that next